Happy birthday to me. Hello and welcome to Hydra Collectables, where we let our geek flag fly. My name's Luke and I'm your host, and today we are celebrating our 1 year anniversary right here on YouTube. That's right, Hydra Collectables is 1 year old today. Or this week. I can't really tell. I think I started my first video on Valentine's Day. Strange day, I know, but my wife and I don't celebrate Valentine's Day because we actually met on the 17th, so we tend to have an anniversary then instead of Valentine's Day. But yeah, all that aside, 1 year anniversary. Thank you so much to everybody who has supported the channel this first year. I cannot thank you enough. So, what are we going to do in today's video? Well, I figured that we'd do a little behind the scenes here at Hydra HQ, and I'm going to give you a very quick room tour of this very premises. So, yeah, stay tuned to the video to have a look behind the scenes of Hydra HQ. Okay, so here we go, room tour 2021. This is actually the first room tour I've ever done on my channel. I know a lot of you guys have seen various images from the room, but this is the first actual video room tour. So I'm going to try and do this all in one take. So yeah, let's take a look inside. So straight away, the first thing that we see, a lot of gremlins and a lot of turtles, because yeah, I absolutely love that. So, you know, let's not beat around the bush. Originally, I was thinking maybe I should actually clear away a lot of this stuff, make it a bit more tidy for this video. As you can see, I've got a lot of comic book boxes there. I've got my actual setup, cheap though it may be, it works. And this is how I make my YouTube videos at present. And yeah, I just thought to myself, well, that's not really realistic. You know, for the sake of full transparency, I should probably leave everything exactly where it is. After all, that is what this room tour is about. So, entering into the room, we will start over at the back corner. So right here, behind the door, I have an old television set. And the reason for this old television set, you know, is basically for gaming. If you're a gamer, you know that a lot of the original console guns and games do not really work too well on a large flat screen TV. And so, you know, I've gone out of my way to ensure that I keep some old equipment. And this isn't just the only thing. You know, down below, I have many VHS players and old consoles. I've actually recently just moved some of these consoles downstairs to play. So yeah, they're not here at present, but you know, I've got things from Sega to Nintendo to all sorts, and sometimes we play up here, sometimes we take it downstairs and play on the TV downstairs. Over in this bottom corner, I have a Lost Dharma Initiative helmet and suit, very worn. I actually had this all on a zombified corpse, a Roger Workman, as it were. If you're a fan of Lost, you know what that is. I have a load of poster tubes because for a long time I was collecting movie posters. I've since stopped that, and now my focus is on comic books and toys. I have a polar bear because I love them. I think they are the best creature going. And there on the floor is some limited edition Walking Dead beer cans, and each one of those is signed by artist Charlie Adlard. And as you can see here, I have all manner of things. Lighting isn't particularly great, I do apologise. But yeah, we'll take a closer look at this stuff here. So, down below here I have my Optimus Prime and my Caesar from Planet of the Apes. I'm not a massive fan of the Michael Bay live action Transformer movies, but cartoon wise, comic book wise, animated TV show wise, I am all in. I love Transformers. I haven't yet read any of the more modern comics, but I do remember the old 12p comics back in the day. Scanning across, I am a big fan of The Lion King, most notably Scar, and of course I have Johnny 5. This was a small little custom build Johnny 5. I am desperate for a company like NECA or Super 7 to make a smaller 6-inch version that I can put with a lot of my action figures. Continuing down here, I'm going to have to throw up some additional images because I'm afraid you just can't see them. I have a Jurassic Park shelf right in the bottom corner which houses a popcorn container, a drinks container, and a dinosaur that very much resembles Rexy. Rexy being one of my all-time favorite dinosaurs in that franchise, and I'm sure she is for a lot of other people. Moving along, I of course have my Jumanji set, which I have posted several times on Instagram. This was a custom build by myself. It's nowhere, it's not perfect. You know, it's since then they have actually released a more official replica. And yeah, if you're going to go out, you should definitely buy that. I don't really see the point because I built this one, but yeah, the new one looks fantastic. Down below that, I have my Lost Boys shelf, and this consists of some replicas. I have the Vampires Everywhere comic and the milk carton showing that Laddie has gone missing. Moving along from there, I have a signed Hannibal Lecter mask. This is a big one for me. I am a huge Silence of the Lambs fan, always have been. I love the books as well as the movies, and I think Anthony Hopkins really did a fantastic portrayal of Hannibal Lecter. Now, that's not to say that I don't like Brian Cox's portrayal in Manhunter. That was also fantastic, but Anthony Hopkins has always held a special place in my heart since seeing that film. And yeah, I was at work one day in London and I had a phone call saying, "Did you know that Anthony Hopkins is in our hometown?" And I couldn't believe it. So I immediately sent my sister out, sent my father-in-law out, sent anybody that I could think of to come round, grab my stuff and take it down there and get it signed. And yeah, sure enough, I was very lucky. I not only got a signature just on a random piece of paper, but I also got this replica mask that I made signed. So yeah, very happy with that. Moving along, I have Planet of the Apes. These are just some simple ape figures. You know, I found these in a garden centre, but I thought they looked fantastic. And placed with some fake shrubbery and the Nova car sign, it really sells the new franchise, the new series of films, the new trilogy, which, may I just add, is a perfect trilogy. I love that trilogy so much. It is so well done, and it ties so beautifully into those original movies. Moving along, I have the dagger, the jackal knife from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This was Faith's weapon of choice. I have a Power Rangers morpher and some coins. I have a couple more Blockbuster Video VHS cases. And yeah, I've got this National Geographic. And a lot of you probably wonder, why does he have a National Geographic and some empty jars of peanut butter? Well, I would like to encourage you guys to check out a show by Damon Lindelof called The Leftovers, and it will all make sense. So I'm not going to go too deeply into that. We'll just leave that there. But that is why that exists on that shelf. It is a fantastic show. Up on the top here, as you can see, I have a bust of the Crypt Keeper. I am a huge Tales from the Crypt fan. I absolutely adore that show. I love the EC comics, and don't get me wrong, there is no comparison to those original comics, but this TV show done such wonders, done so well recreating those comics for the live action scene. I have many figures up on this shelf, including Spike and Drusilla from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Victor and Emily from Corpse Bride, many different renditions of zombies, whether it be from Walking Dead, computer games, or I think that computer game is actually Dead Island. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section below. And then, of course, I have the NECA George A. Romero zombies. Behind those, I have a signed copy of the Dead Walk newspaper. This is a replica that was made for one of the events that I went to, and that has actually been signed by the actor who played Bub the Zombie. Also in there, I have a chunk of marble, a piece of the original shopping mall from the original Dawn of the Dead. They were doing some refurb work, and a lot of that marble was being taken out and replaced. And yeah, a good friend of mine went down there with some of the actors, and they were able to secure a piece of this marble, massive slab, which they cut down into pieces and basically gave out to us fans. So I was very lucky and appreciative to get one of those. If we zoom in a little bit closer, you can see not only do I have zombies, but I have Popeye, of all things, one of my latest figures, Beetlejuice, a load of zombies, and I have Jack Skellington, and yeah, some Rick and Morty stuff. That clapperboard behind there, that is actually from my little photo shoot I had with George A. Romero upon my meeting with him, which is fantastic. That was held by George and admired by George, and yeah, he was just so great. Along the back there, I have a custom sketch of Michonne and her pet walkers done by Charlie Adlard of Walking Dead fame. And yeah, you can see some NECA turtles and of course my beloved Gremlins. I love Gremlins. This little Mogwai has been custom made. This is my own little character called Glitch. And yeah, I just kind of came up with an idea of having my own little Mogwai. And sure enough, a very talented girl whose name has has surpassed me at the moment, but I'll be sure to add it in later. She made these, and you can find her on Etsy. I'm sure if you just type in, replica Mogwai, she'll come up. She is fantastic. Her work is absolutely brilliant. I have the Gremlin skull, which is extremely rare to get hold of. I'm very glad that I've got that. And moving along, I have this polar bear head. This is basically just a Christmas decoration that I opened up. The mouth was actually closed, and I opened this up in order to put teeth inside and put a custom made Dharma Initiative Lost themed collar on him. So, moving down, sorry, I can't get much closer because there is stuff in the way. But moving down here, I have my Lost shelf, and again, I'll continue to put pictures up. This has all sorts of replicas on there, some of them made by myself, some of them made by friends. Then I've got Beetlejuice, again, some of these things made by myself, some made by friends. I have a Little Shop of Horrors Audrey 2 plant, and then that brings us back down to the Jurassic Park one where we had started. Moving across, I have my two custom horror dolls. These are one-of-a-kind dolls called Luna the vampire and Frankie the werewolf. And yeah, I adore those things. I made them a really long time ago with a friend who made custom dolls. She used to make real baby dolls, like real born baby dolls. And I just asked one day, can we make them into little monsters? And she loved the idea so much, so we created those. Moving along here, I have my Toys R Us basket. I ordered this purely for nostalgia. I thought to myself, how cool would it be to have some toys and figures shoved into an old Toys R Us box? I did not realize that this thing was as big as it is. This thing is huge. So yeah, now it is filled with a gremlin holding many different toys, many different replicas, as you can see there. So carrying on the journey, I'm sorry that the light is in the way. We have my NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles display for the animated series. Oh, and of course we have Shadow Weaver here from the latest She-Ra retelling that has been on Netflix, done by DreamWorks and Netflix. She is by far the best character. If you guys haven't checked this out, please do so. The style is very much of that of an anime. I wasn't convinced first of all, but as time has gone on and I've continued to watch it with my daughter, it was a great show. So yeah, definitely check that out. I might even do some videos on that in the near future. So going back, here is my turtle display. I've already shown this a few times on my Instagram, but we have all of the turtles there, along with some side characters. Now, I didn't go for every single figure. I would love to be a completionist, but for me, it just made sense to have the ones that actually mattered to me in childhood. Why buy everything if it doesn't hold that same spark? I, of course, here have the Lawgiver from Planet of the Apes. Absolutely nothing to do with turtles. And yeah, down here I have another Turtles playset. This one is relatively empty, not much here. It's more here just because I have nowhere else to put it, and I thought it'd be great for the kids when they get a little bit older so they've got something to play with. I have a Rocketeer figure, a Rogue figure, a custom-made Spider-Verse Dr. Octopus Superior Spider-Man figure that I made myself. One of my all-time favorite story arcs. If you haven't read that, please do so. Also up here, I have a Day of the Dead original movie poster signed by most of the cast. I'll actually whack an image up so you guys can see the list of names that have signed these posters. This is one of 3 in this very room, and we will get to the others soon. So continuing the journey across, You guys obviously have seen this many times in videos before. This is my spinner rack full of my slabbed comics. Now, in total, at the time of making this video, I have actually sold a few of my slabs. None of these ones that you can see here, these ones are all too special. But I did have about 50 odd slabs, and I think I'm down to about 40 now. Moving down, I have a polar bear skull. Again, I love polar bears. I love Lost, which had polar bears in them, but also I love the Dark Materials. I love the series of books, the Amber Spyglass, the Subtle Knife, the Northern Lights. You know, I loved these books. I loved these novels growing up. I love the Armored Bears. So yeah, my love of polar bears comes from a lot of various things. Moving down into this rather messy bottom corner, I have some Ghostbusters Proton packs for me and the children. I actually bought this Proton pack from Mr. Attention Seeking Geek himself, Mr. Ben Crampton. I think he's always regretted selling it to me, to be honest, but sorry, mate, it's mine now. If you do want to borrow it, it's always here for you to do so. But yeah, I can't see myself giving up this beautiful piece. Not when I've got the plans to go about with the kids. But like I say, it's all here if you want to borrow these as well, any of the other packs, so that you and your children can have fun. It's here, mate. You know, don't ever think that you can't borrow anything of mine. You're a good friend, so of course that would not be a problem. I have a Beetlejuice sandworm wrapped around the bottom there. That thing is huge. It goes the full length of my stairs, and that was custom made by someone on Etsy. I have some other lost items down there and some large dinosaurs because, yeah, Jurassic Park, of course. Oh, and there's a little compy. Let's not forget the little compy down there, along with the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sewer layer. So moving along, these are just my comic book boxes. Those flash magic erasers, they do wonders for cleaning comics. I don't advise that you do it without knowing what you're doing, and if you are going to begin, do it extremely carefully, because you don't want to take any of the protective film or cover or even indeed color from your comics. But they do a really nice job of just gently erasing that top layer of dirt on your comics. So yeah, nothing really to shout out about here. I have some Marvel trading cards, which I've always loved. I've done some videos about them. And I've just got some new books thrown on top of these boxes. So that brings us to these top shelves. Up here, I have my Badger Diorama custom-made sewer, which I've recently done a video on, and this houses my movie turtles, along with Toka and Raza from the second movie. If you don't know who Toka and Raza are, please do check out my latest video, link in the description. But yeah, these are just my movie turtles, which pan across to show Casey Jones, some Foot Soldiers and Shredder, and of course my movie Planet of the Apes, because again, what a fantastic trilogy. So obviously, because the comics are in the way, I can't show you everything. So again, I'm going to pull up some additional images, some close-ups of this stuff. I have a couple of Marvel shelves along here, housing some comic books, as well as some various props and custom-made figures, such as my Stan Lee, etc. And yeah, moving along, we have the Blockbuster video. I've done a video on the Blockbuster collection and why I have it and why I just think it's a bit of fun. It's basically just reminiscent of childhood. This had a huge impact on my life and led to me getting into comics in general as a young child. I have a very generic 80s shelf here. This is kind of just where I throw everything that I might have. There's a lot of signed memorabilia here, including the sign from American Wealth in London and a Freddy Krueger glove signed by Robert Englund. That is a Jurassic Park canister that does open. This was a replica prop that I made myself many years ago. Again, much with the Jumanji board, since then they have actually released really good replicas, which I would advise that you actually go out and buy now that they are available. It's just a shame that I kind of missed that window. One of my all-time favourite adaptations of Tales from the Crypt was, of course, the movie Demon Knight. Not originally a comic book, this one. This one was originally just a film that they had, and they decided to whack the Tales from the Crypt title to it. but I must say it really works, and adding that intro and outro of the Crypt Keeper, it made it a Tales from the Crypt issue. It made it a Tales from the Crypt episode. It was fantastic. I have my Mirage Turtle action figures by NECA down here, along with Shredder and April, and that is actually the first Gokin Krang, and that is a replica Casey Jones mask, because once again, sure enough, we have a more official release done by NECA in the recent years. If you haven't already realised, I tended to make a lot of my own stuff long before big companies decide to jump on the bandwagon. I have a Jurassic Park shelf here with many different replicas. Some of these book covers were by my good friend Paul Elder. Please do check him out on Etsy and I believe eBay. I have my most recent purchase, which is my Battle Cat film cell, which I am so happy with. This animation cell is incredible, as well as my Mythic Legions Battle Cat action figures. Down below, in places that you unfortunately can't see, we have a Toy Story shelf. Actually, that's a lie. It's not a Toy Story shelf. I wanted to do something related to Disney or Pixar, and I couldn't pick what exactly to have. So what I went for was Pizza Planet. So I actually made a Pizza Planet shelf with some replica boxes, some food containers, and of course the beloved truck and Alien. I have another shelf which is very reminiscent of one of my top favourite films, Leon the Professional. And then of course have Lost, I have Jurassic Park, and then down below is a selection of helmets. So down below here we have a Shredder helmet, we have a Rocketeer helmet, we have a Power Rangers helmet signed by many of the cast members. We have a Harry Potter sorting hat and wands. So that is everything on those back shelves that you guys probably don't really take much notice of during my videos, or maybe you do, who knows. Of course, we have the sofa upon which I sit, along with some Lost-themed pillows, because yes, I love the show Lost. I'm sorry if that upsets anyone. And yeah, if I can just get the camera round at this angle, I have my other two George Romero movie posters, again signed by many of the cast members, as well as having some more comics positioned up on the wall. So I hope you guys can see all of them. A lot of this stuff does get shared on Instagram. If you want to see close-ups of it all, by all means, please do take a look. And like I say, I could have cleared all of this away and given you a better view, but that wouldn't be realistic to how this place looks on a daily basis. Down here, I have my makeshift Gremlins diorama. I do intend to make a better version of this. This was very much a test run, just to see if I could, just to get the sizing right for the seats for the Gremlins to sit on. The next one will be made of plastic and wood and actually be elevated to a whole new level, which I hope will not rival in a negative way, but at least match up with the Badger diorama stuff. You know, I want to show my skills. I want to show what I can do. So yeah, that is effectively the room. Scanning around, a couple of items on the floor. Most of the stuff on the floor is just for making videos, whether it be wires and tape and cutters, etc. This is my little table in the middle there with my latest 1/4 scale NECA turtle figures. I did actually have Donatello very, very briefly. And by briefly, what I mean is he arrived in the post damage, so he had to go back. So he is on his way back to the cellar. Very upset by that, because I would have loved to have all 4 turtles, and he was my third. You know, I was quite happy to be on the way, but as money is at the moment, I'm going to have to put a pause on those and just keep these 2. So yeah, that is the room. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little room tour. I hope you have enjoyed seeing my various things here. Just giving you guys a quick overview. But yeah, a little behind the scenes here at Hydra Collectables. I do hope to soon move a lot of this stuff over into my new garage conversion that I hope to do in the summer. And that will be my little studio. So that will be where a lot of this stuff actually lives. So yeah, until next time, I'll see you in another life. Take care.